What happens to an ecosystem without a predator? This was the guiding question of ecologist Dr. Robert Payne. In 1963, he set out to discover how ecosystems suffer and thrive based on the health of the individual. His landmark works would prove the importance of keystone species in their environment. What was his organism of study? Pisaster ochraceus, or the purple starfish. He based his research in the intertidal ecosystem of the Mucah Bay in Washington state. Here, a dizzying diversity of marine life is present. Anemones, jagged beds of mussels and barnacles, and, of course, the purple starfish. This organism is found on the Pacific coast of the United States, spanning from northern Alaska to the Baja Peninsula in the south. It inhabits intertidal ecosystems and can forage through subtidal to supratidal ranges. The starfish plays an important role in the food web of its ecosystem as a secondary consumer. It scavenges the rock formations of the tide pools in search of mussels, barnacles, and small crustaceans. The starfish regulates the population of these creatures, ensuring that they do not become too numerous. But what would happen in the absence of Pisaster ochraceus? Here begins the central experiment. Dr. Payne plotted an area of 25 feet by 6 feet and marked an identical, adjacent area as his control. In the experimental field, Dr. Payne removed all of the purple starfish and hurled them into the deep sea. Over a 1-year period, he would examine the population changes of 15 unique intertidal organisms. Without a predator, he found that mussels and barnacles grew uncontrollably. They occupied nearly 80% of all available rock surfaces. 2 species of limpets and 2 species of chitons migrated, not finding enough resources anymore, while 4 species of algae disappeared completely. Furthermore, anemone and sponge populations dwindled, while some snails grew exponentially. At a broad scope, out of the 15 original species documented, only 8 were still present after 1 year. But why was the removal of the starfish so disastrous on the ecosystem? After all, it's just 1 species. As mentioned, Payne's experiment led to the creation of the term Keystone Species, of which Pisaster ochraceus is a perfect example. He found that it is a species whose individual health exerts disproportionate impacts on the overall health of the ecosystem. In this instance, the starfish is crucial to control the aggressive mussels and barnacles. Without regulation of these populations, biodiversity and ecosystem balance completely break down. In this experiment, the starfish's disappearance was manipulated, yet the creature's absence may soon become a permanent reality. Pisaster ochraceus has a narrow thermal neutral range, from cool to temperate ocean temperatures. Further, it requires clean, oxygen-rich water. Global increases of ocean temperatures and degradation of water quality pose threats to the sensitive starfish. Its habitat is under siege too. Coastal development and rising sea levels obliterate tide pools. The future of the purple starfish and its habitat are uncertain in the face of climate change. Our planet calls for help, and circumstances are more grave than they have ever been. The steady cycles of the natural world are being disrupted, and at alarming rates. Our fellow inhabitants of planet Earth suffer just as we will. So what can be done? Education is the primary tool we must use to combat climate change. Human beings are designed to connect and feel. We are inclined to listen to stories, learn, and grow. Knowing the mysteries, beauties, and plight of Mother Nature fosters a connection between us and the planet. Awareness brings empathy, and empathy brings activism. The key to solving climate change is humanity, so we must remember that humankind is human.